Well, hello everyone. Just wanted to briefly talk about today, just something that I've been thinking about today because I've seen a conversation related to this, and it was just very interesting. Just about how we contradict ourselves and how we contradict our beliefs and our philosophy on life. So, we tell people we have our own ideas in our mind of what is real and what isn't real, such as our own personal beliefs, our religious beliefs, and we have all this data and evidence that shows one way or another that we are right and the other person is wrong. And we project these beliefs and we say that we are right. Here's all the evidence to prove we are right. Trying to have this debate with someone, going into it, being arrogant and narcissistic, not ever listening to the other person, just believing we are right all the time. And we say these things, we go into these conversations with people, proving we are right. Yet the moment someone else questions us and says we are wrong, is when we get so defensive and say, no, it's, I am wrong, I am right, you are wrong. And we say, don't, let's say, for example, a religion. Here's the classic example from my life. Okay, back when I was in high school, bullies, getting bullied. Someone would bully me. He would be just, bully, but it was, I didn't like it. He was just trying to get a response from me. So if I ignored him, he would stop doing it. But he just wanted that response from me. And I would, it's like, don't stop doing that, this and that. Yet the moment I would try to do anything to him, say, don't do that. You're not allowed to do that. It's like, well, you're doing it to me, so why can't I do it to you? Why is it one-sided? And that's kind of how this situation that I saw today was. It was, for someone like myself, I always promote alternative medicine, natural ways of healing and overcoming problems without any type of pharmaceutical drugs, without any sort of, external substance that you put in your body that will poison you and cause you more damage. That doesn't really get to the root of the problem. I'm not saying that they can't help. I acknowledge that, these mainstream medicines do serve a purpose and that they do help some people, but it doesn't help everyone, and you can't say it helps everyone because it's not one dose, one size fits all, which a lot of times that's what people do. But let's take like psychiatry, for example. I think that is a completely pseudoscience field of, practice. There's really no basis in any of the claims that they make regarding chemical imbalance or regarding mental illness. Yet a lot of people believe it. A lot of people see that as factual, even though I've never seen any proof of that, and there doesn't seem to be any. It's just speculation. But, as much as my stance is and always has been against antidepressant drugs and mind-altering drugs in that sense, even though people will tell me, well, you're on hormones, so you don't have any right to talk about that. I have every right to talk about anything that I wish to talk about, number one. But even though I'm so against that, I realize that some people do greatly benefit from that. And they are able to come to a point where they're more stable with that. And then there are plenty of people who are definitely strong enough to be able to even get off them entirely. I, for one, I didn't ever want to do that. So I always approached in a natural way. And I've been successful with that. So when I'm vocalizing my thoughts about the mainstream medicine being a scam and pseudoscience that really doesn't have any scientific evidence to back it up and causes more damage than it helps, or saying that it doesn't get to the root of the problem, which it never does. It's just kind of a mask, You're not dealing with the root of the issue and resolving that. You're masking it with the medication. So when I say that, of course, there's going to be people who are going to come in and say, you shouldn't say that. That's damaging to people who have been helped by this. There are thousands of studies that show that this medicine is evidence-based and science-based and all this other terms that they use. But there's no evidence to support your alternative medicine at all, so it must be fake. Yet, I could sit here and say, but it's greatly helped me and so many other people. So how can you say that it's fake? Well, it must have been a placebo. I don't think it actually really helped you. It was all made up in your mind. It was all just made up. It doesn't actually help you because there's no evidence that shows that it helps you. Yet, someone else said, well, I don't believe that your medicine, the modern medicine, helps people. And then this person just goes on a tirade saying, this has helped so many people, don't you ever say that. And I don't know exactly what they said. I didn't really read the conversation in depth, but it was very it's like I have thousands and thousands of studies that show that this works, and it does work. It's just interesting, this contradiction. It's like, okay, if your thing works for you, then why can't my thing work for me? If what works for you is good and it doesn't matter if it's proven or not, if it works for you. And if my thing works for me, then that's fake somehow because it's not scientifically proven. Because they can't scientifically prove it, because they can't patent it and make money off of it. That's a whole nother debate for a later time. But I just found that so interesting, this contradiction that people portray. Because I was just thinking about that. It's like, how can you say to me that my way is wrong and how I've been helped and other people have been helped is all fake because there's no evidence to back up, these natural remedies, when there is evidence to back up your medicine that you use, yet you can't criticize that. It doesn't make any sense to me. You can't you can criticize me and my fake alternative medicine, but I can't criticize you and your evidence-based, real science medicine. So I don't understand that. I mean, again, I don't have any issue with people doing that. That's entirely up to you. I'm just, as someone who promotes natural health remedies, I will always stand by that. I won't change my mind on that because that's what has helped me. And that's what has helped many other people that I teach. I teach getting to the root cause of the issue, not just relying on herbs and stuff. I mean, that is, again, dependence. I don't want people to be dependent because I wasn't even dependent on any kind of herbs or anything. I pretty much just overcame most of my problems on my own. With therapy, with working on myself, with believing I can do it. And it's these people that I see, it's so heartbreaking knowing that they don't have that type of optimism in their mind. They don't think it's possible. And when you don't think it's possible, then it's not going to work. And it's the same thing with natural remedies and, evidence-based medicine. If you don't believe it'll work, it won't work. It doesn't matter what the science says there. And not only that, both of them can indeed be a placebo. So if you give someone an antidepressant that should work for them, and they believe it'll work, it will work. But if they don't believe it will work, it won't work. It doesn't matter what the science says. It matters what their belief system is. And it's the same thing with any kind of natural remedy or herb. If you give them something, even if it's just a placebo, just a water pill, if you give them that and they believe it'll work, it will work. And if they don't believe it'll work, it won't work. Power of the mind. So, that was all for today. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you again very soon. Got a controversial video coming up, yes. Bye-bye.